Hey everybody, welcome back to Prince's Friend, exploring music through Prince. Today we have the third video of Vault Tracks, fourth video overall. Remember, this is going to get us about halfway there, so we are almost there, but we still have a ways to go to finish reviewing this amazing box set, the Sign of the Times Super Deluxe box set that included so much music, so much awesomeness. Oh my gosh! And remember, to get alerted whenever we release a new video, don't forget to hit like, subscribe to the channel, hit the bells, and make sure to hit all notifications instead of just some notifications. And to keep up with the latest, don't forget to follow us on social media at Prince's Friend YT. That's on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And with all of that out of the way, let's not belabor this anymore. Let's get into that music. So Soul Psychedelicide, all I can say really is that the song is like a year long. But you know what? I've been playing it for months at this point. Seriously though, it's about 12 and a half minutes long, which is pretty long, but it's essentially just an amazing jam session. A quote from Lisa in the booklet says that this was essentially whenever Prince thought that they were having a good show, he would scream ice cream, and then that meant to get into this like jam, this Soul Psychedelicide jam. With the extended revolution, I don't think that this was a thing that happened with just the revolution. It was more of an extended revolution thing. Otherwise, where would you get the horns and stuff from? I really love this song. I've listened to it more than some of the other songs in this set list. You know, I've listened to it a bunch of times all the way through, but there are a few tracks here and there that I'm like, let me give that one another listen. And Soul Psychedelicide, even with its length, is one of those tracks I really just love listening to the song. This version that we got here does borrow some horn sections and stuff from It's Gonna Be a Beautiful Night, though there are other versions that are circulating around there that don't include that. They're separate jam sessions that don't have that horns. There's different horns and stuff in there. So that's kind of the interesting thing about this song, is that you know that it was, you know, it had the same groove and stuff, but it was about jamming, so it was never necessarily going to be exactly the same every time. I'll keep this one though, because it is fun, and actually the connection to It's Gonna Be a Beautiful Night makes it a little bit more familiar to the ear and makes me enjoy it a little bit more. You know, it's funny, just looking at like the set list, you know, the track list for this set, I was like, oh, The Ball, that must be maybe an outtake of Crystal Ball or something like that. But actually it is its own kind of song, and it sounds very like joyous, very kind of chaotic, and kind of just very energetic. But upon listening to it, I immediately was like, oh, that must be where he got the ideas initially for what ended up becoming the song I Know from Lovesexy. Like, I mean, it's almost identical in its melody and the makeup and everything. This version, though, The Ball, has all the makings of a really good Prince song. It's got the we ain't got no need to fight, it's got the get off in it, it's got pretty much all of those things that you expect from one of these kind of fun party songs from Prince. I think what makes this one stand out, honestly, to me, is kind of like the chimes in the background. I really like the addition of that, and it kind of sets this song apart from other songs, because not every song has chimes. So it's like totally fun, and obviously I like I Know and what it ended up becoming a little bit more. I have some nostalgia there, obviously, but The Ball, it ain't no joke. And then that brings us to Adonis and Bathsheba, which is the song that Susan Rogers has notoriously said was not good enough to be on any album. I'm paraphrasing, I don't have the exact quote in front of me. But I had actually never heard this song before the Super Deluxe got released. So it was kind of interesting to hear it and kind of absorb it. And I really like the overall like feel of it. I actually really dig it, actually. I mean, the horns and the guitar, there's like a fantastical kind of fairy tale feeling to it. I think it's just beautiful. Now, I did notice just recently, I don't know why, but in my shuffle, some Maite songs came up, and it sounds like he kind of borrowed a little bit of this song for her album. I'm blanking on the exact name of the track now, but you know what? Whenever I get around to doing that Maite review, you're definitely going to know more about that. But I really like it, though. Like, the melody is so unorthodox, and it seems weird to me that anybody would not immediately enjoy this. But I think, like a lot of Prince's things, I think this was just ahead of its time.
Forever, forever, baby, I want you forever.
Then we get Forever in My Life, an early vocal run through. And anyone who has checked out my top 10 list of love songs knows how much I love Forever in My Life, because it's up there. So this early version was like super interesting to me. A lot of the phrasing that Prince uses in this version of the song is interesting. You could tell he was playing around with like which words to stress and which ones to extend and, you know, all of that stuff. And I really think that even this version is really good. I feel like the strength is in the lyrics and the delivery of the melody. This version is also largely acoustic guitar and piano instead of what we get in the end, which is kind of just Prince singing over just like an interesting beat. This one sounds more like a lounge clubby kind of feel to the song. Not in a bad way. Though when he launches into the acoustic groove of this version, I immediately recognized it as the part that Prince puts at the end of the version that's on Sign of the Times, the studio album. So I'm actually really happy that he didn't lose that groove because honestly, it's one of the funkier parts of that song. And I just really, really love it. And I'm glad that he at least paid homage to these earlier drafts of it by including just like the clip of it at the end there as it fades out. I dig it. I mean, this is just a really cool version of this song. But obviously, if I'm going to like choose one to listen to, I'll probably just listen to the album version. But this one is fun. It's a fun departure for a song that I already love.
Baby, let me touch you fast tonight. Her scent stayed with me.
Then we get to Crucial with alternate lyrics. So if you like Crucial, you will like this song. I mean, it's pretty much right there. It takes the original song that you love, we've already established that, and kind of makes it into a sexy time song. Well, more so than the other one is. I mean, because the other one is like, I guess, also ostensibly also a sexy time song. They're both pretty damn sexy. But this one is just a little bit more blatant with its lyrics, a little bit more, hey, these lyrics are to make you in the mood to have sex, as opposed to the other one, which could be misconstrued as a love song as opposed to kind of a sexy song. And this one might make you blush a little bit. So there's not much different going on musically between this one and the version that we got on Crystal Ball. So you can basically just listen to it and, you know, gasp at the new lyrics. From the booklet, though, what I found interesting was that this song is a recently uncovered track. So this one is not one that has been circulated around a lot. This is one that they found by going through there. So it's pretty awesome that this is one of the newer ones, and it's already a song we already love.
The band was on stage. I could sort of see Frankie smiling. Needless to say, we was sort of scared.
Then we get to the Coco Boys, and this one was an interesting one for me because everybody in the comments since this thing has come out, and it doesn't even matter what video, everybody's just like, by the way, Coco Boys is amazing on any video. But you guys seem to really, really love the Coco Boys. But upon listening to it several times myself, I'm not sure if it lives up to a lot of the hype that I think people had kind of going into this. It's got a great groove for sure. And I love the story that Prince is trying to tell. Apparently, initially, this was basically the screenplay for another movie that Prince wanted to do, and he just made a song out of the initial pitch for the movie. But it does run a little long, and it does stay in its lane, as I sometimes say. I did love seeing the origin of some of the lyrics from Positivity, the all the boys, all the girls, we are the new kings of the world. And even to see Prince take that idea and go even further with it in this song, I did actually kind of like that approach. And I liked learning kind of like, oh, he came up with it here and then he used it over there. You know, because Prince would always borrow stuff from other songs. But on the whole, I think it's a good track, but I feel like it might have been spoiled for me because of just how much hype was around it. So this song stood out as a big one for me, like to my ear. I was like, oh, that's really good. I'm digging that. And the first couple of times I listened to it and I'm just like, this sounds like something and I don't know what. And then it dawned on me, this is kind of an early draft of Trust. And that was like, what? That like blew me away. I was like, wait a minute, this is really cool. The fact that Prince had, an entirely different arrangement for this song called When the Dawn of the Morning Comes, and he ended up turning it into Trust later on if you listen to it. But even this version of the song is pretty damn funky, so I say it's a winner.
I am a witness for the prosecution of a heinous love affair.
Now we come to version 2 of Witness for the Prosecution. So we already talked about version 1, and I actually think that this version 2 is kind of wonderful. Prince cleaned it up a little bit and he added in a little bit of like a grungy guitar kind of feel to it. There's also no choir of like background singers. It's just Prince layering on, his own voice, kind of just Prince doing Prince. The booklet says that Prince was trying to get Deborah Allen, who is a country singer, to do this song. So this was the version kind of like the originals where he demoed the song, sung it the way he thought it should go, and then was like, cool, bam, there you go, do this song and you're gonna love it. And she ended up passing on it. But, in the end, I kind of dig this version. Comparing the two might take a little bit more insight for me to compare the two versions of the song. But I think the song as a whole is pretty strong. Should have ended up somewhere on an album. And maybe not a country album? I mean, I don't know. It's just kind of odd. It doesn't sound like a country song to me. Then we get an example of, Prince just kind of putting down a song that's stuck in his head. And he's just like, bam, there you go. Here's a song I wrote. And I kind of love it. It bees like that sometimes. In the booklet says, was the track that after the fact, he took this song and he created Lovesexy from it. And at first I was like, wait, what? Did he? Because it doesn't sound anything like Lovesexy, the title track of Lovesexy. So I went and I kind of like listened to both side by side, and it dawned on me. I was like, oh, the melody structure is so similar between the two, even though the two songs couldn't be more different. So just like, wow, I applaud Prince for being able to like seriously go back and like dip into his old tracks and be like, I'm going to turn this into something beautiful and amazing. And man, it just leaves me speechless.
Emotional pump, you are mine. Concentrate on me, that's all I have to do.
So now we are getting into that third disc of songs, and we're starting off with Emotional Pump, which is one of those songs that I already did have in my collection, and I had a good version, so I already knew what I was getting into with this song. And again, I feel like familiarity kind of makes you appreciate a song more than songs that you're hearing for the first time and you're being like hypercritical with your ear and whatnot. So that's just overall just my own personal opinion. You like a song the more you hear a song. And with this song, he, strangely enough, wanted Joni Mitchell to perform this song. So he wrote this song with Joni Mitchell in mind, and she politely declined as well. So many people saying no to Prince songs, except for Miles Davis, and he was just like, yeah, I want your song. Prince was like, no. I wonder if Joni Mitchell had said yes, or that Deborah Allen had said yes, I wonder if Prince would have said, you know what, actually, after the fact, I'm going to go ahead and say no. I wonder just what would have happened had they said yes. But honestly, I could hear Joni Mitchell doing this song. It would have sounded, I think, very different, but I understand the vibe that Prince was going for with this song and how it could relate to Joni Mitchell's music. For me, the bass line and the beat alone are enough, but as soon as you throw in Prince's falsetto, I mean, it's over. Like, this is just such a good song.
Kick drum pounds on the 2 and 4. All the party people get on the floor.
And then we get to the last track we're going to cover in this video, which is Rebirth of the Flesh original outro. So in my opinion, this is the ultimate Camille song, the funkiest song that I think never really got to be on an album. But I'm not going to repeat myself a bunch. I did do a video about Rebirth of the Flesh already, so go check that one out if you want more information on my thoughts on this song. But this one says original outro, so I compared Rebirth of the Flesh, the version that I've already covered, versus this one, and they are almost identical except for the very, very ending, which on every version that I've heard has like a growl sound at the end, whereas this one does not. And that's pretty much like, that's the difference that I've been able to hear. So it seems weird to even bother with the designation just because it doesn't have the growl sound at the end. But maybe you guys have heard more of a difference in the tracks. Let me know down in the comments if you have. For me, it's that same song that I already love again, and I was excited to finally have it remastered, which I think is the main thing. I wanted it remastered. Thank you. Thank you for remastering this song. There you go. That is another set of vault tracks, and when we come back in the next video, we're going to have the rest of them. So be sure to stay tuned to Prince's Friend. Don't forget to hit like, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell. Consider becoming either a patron or a YouTube member. Links to those are down in the description, and obviously you'll get your name on the wall of gratitude, which is at the end of this video. We are getting so close to having a total of 100 channel supporters, which blows my mind every time I look at the numbers. So I want to thank all of the existing supporters. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And thank you to everybody else who is watching the videos, commenting, liking. You guys make this channel successful. It is so amazing to be here doing this for you. So with all of that said, may you live to see the dawn. I love you all, and I will see you in the next one where we are going to finish off those vault tracks.